Boy.
You quite finished your dinner, yeah? Like, 10:15.
No. The rice and chicken was earlier on, bruv. This is just like a little post-match snack.
Yeah,
It
more
tastes
junk,
sweet,
yeah.
you know? Tastes
Yeah?
sweet. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to be gloating, but,
Well,
let's just get in.
why are you gloating? What have you got to gloat about? I'm
No,
confused.
not just about what I predicted was going to happen during the match when I sent you the message. That's all. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Yeah.
I
I
don't
come in
know.
peace. You know?
I don't know who you think you're warring with,
I,
because it's
I know.
definitely
I
not me.
noticed you've changed your shirt as well. Like, was that deliberate, or is the English shirt in the bin now, or
No,
what's happened?
no, it's just in the washing machine.
Is it? All
Yeah.
right. What about
But
the
we need to,
What
we
about the
need to
Holland
stop
shirt?
doing this. But I was in the washing machine. I wore it yesterday.
Okay. All right.
But we need to stop. Actually, is it out of the washing? It might be out of the washing machine, but ain't no one got time to run up. We'll find out. You know what I'm saying? But we need to stop doing this. Like, we need to stop trying to paint this narrative that you're painting, bro. Like,
What's that then?
do I just go to show you don't watch the podcasts? Because if you watch the podcast, you would know that I'm not an England fan.
I don't be watching them, but I'll be recording them. But anyway.
Wow. Clearly, you got some long-term memory loss or something. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, anyway, anywho.
Anyway, as much as I'm not an England fan, I appreciate their efforts. I'm a football fan. I appreciate their efforts. You know what I'm saying? Semi-finals of a World Cup, no mean feat. You know what I mean? But before I really dig into that performance, come on now. What is it, Sam, man? Tell them, man. Come on, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, you don't want to tell them. You want me to tell them?
Tell them.
It's road to 500, people, man. It's road to 500. Tell a friend to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share. You see it going on the screen? This is what we're doing here, people. This is what we're doing. And then after 500, what is it? It's 1,000. So get to work, people, because we've been at work for a long time. We're going to keep on going until we hit them numbers. All right?
Couldn't have said it better myself. What was Thomas Tuchel, aka the Kaiser? What was he doing, man? Now, what was he doing? He fumbled that bag big time.
Firstly, yeah, let's discount the first half because that was rugby in it. So let's just put that to one side. I firstly want to say that second half was probably the most intense football match I've watched from a neutral perspective. Yeah, with my heart thumping. I had feeling and an emotion for that game, and I wasn't really supporting either team, so it's just like in terms of the level of intensity and the grit, the determination, the quality at times, the drama. I enjoyed that, man. I really, really enjoyed that. And commiserations to England, but I think let's start actually dissecting it because that was a serious second half of football, man. Serious game, high level.
Yeah, 100%. And I know you put it to one side, but that first half, it just seemed like Argentina just came to spoil the party, man. Like you said, rugby tactics. I see, man, the ball's gone. Man's pushing man in the back of the head, doing all kinds of karate chops and Mr. Miyagi's and that. I'm like, what is going on, man? Like, what part of football is this? Like, you're Argentina, like, do better than this. But I think England kept their cool. Yeah, they kept their heads and they tried to play football, but like I said, Argentina was just on spoiling it. So that first half was very bitty. And I was sitting next to my son, watching it with my son, and I was saying to him, come the second half, we need to get this ball in the box. Like, we're not going on the outside. Gordon kept coming inside, and it's just like, that's where they want you to go. That's where the traffic is. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't sure about this Morgan Rogers on the right wing thing. I was a bit baffled by that because clearly we know he's not a right winger, but what a peach of a ball he put in for Anthony Gordon, man. That was any winger would be proud of that cross. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was a great ball, and I think England needed to do more of that through the game, try and hurt them down the sides. And had he have made the right subs in terms of bringing on Rashford, maybe Saka, I don't know how fit Saka was, but bringing on more of those attacking talent, able to hit them with pace on the counter, the outcome might have been different because we went to like a back five and then still allowed crosses in from the wide areas and was still missing headers. I mean, we know what Alexis McAllister can do in the box, and even though he's like 4 foot minus 10, you know what I'm saying? We know what he's capable of in the box, and he was winning headers, free headers at that. And it's like you've brought on Dan Burn, who's like 6 foot million plus 20, and they're still winning headers. Like, where was the sense in that? It just didn't add up. It's an old adage in football: the best form of defense is attack. So had he have brought on those wingers with a bit of pace, then they would have given Argentina something to think about. But once the goal went in, it was like, right, that's it, backs to the wall. We're gonna just defend and see this out. There was like 20 plus minutes to go. Like,
Mm.
what is that? What part of football is that?
The thing is, it was almost like they got the goal too early in the half. It was like 55 or something like that. And the mindset changed really, really quickly. It changed
Rapid.
even before we made these subs. And that was what was scary about it. It's like, okay, you've got the lead. They're not playing well. Argentina are not playing well, but they are still a threat. They are still Argentina. They've got that ridiculous amount of experience within that squad. And it showed immediately because there was no panic. The spoiling tactics they were doing in the first half, they started to minimize off them and just started popping the ball around. And there was a little bit of fear for me in that they knew the onslaught was coming. And when it landed, yeah, rather than actually try and remain composed and defend, the panic started to set in. And I think McAllister missed one, Pickford saved one. There was a one from Enzo Fernandez that was saved. So the goal was coming. The chances were being created. And I said to you during the half, I said, if Argentina score one, they win the game in normal time. Because the mindset of the England players was already gone. They were like, let's just hold, let's hold, let's hold. And I totally get it as to why they did that in the Mexico game. Different situation. You're down to 10 men. You're literally holding on for dear life. But this game, they could have had a threat going the other way. And because they didn't naturally, because the mindset had changed, I'm looking at Tuchel and saying, really, you need to make a change that will enforce the change of tactics. Yeah. And that for me was Rashford long before he came on. Before he came on.
100%.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, did this guy really think, yeah, this shed England defense can hold on? Really? Like he actually thought they could do that. Against Mexico is one thing. Yeah. Against Argentina, with Messi roaming, yeah, and doing what he wants.
Exactly what I was waiting to say to you. Because you've done it once before against A team, doesn't mean you're going to do it against B team. Mexico, Argentina, two different beasts.
Two different things, man.
Different animals.
Two different things.
You can't do the same tactics for every team. We know that. That's just like the basics of football. Every team has different quality, blah, 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 blah. And that was the wrong thing to do. What happens is they stopped closing down the space. In the first half and before the goal, they were closing players down, not allowing them to pick their heads up. Yeah, not allowing them to have a sight on goal, throwing everything at the ball. And like you said, the mindset just shifted and everyone was just on the edge of the 18-yard box. And we know, like you said, the signs were coming, the shots were coming, the saves were coming.
Bro, do you think, though, the closing down, do you think that would have continued if they hadn't have scored so early in the second half? Because I'm talking about the conditions and the intensity. Could they have kept that up? Because they were full pressing early in the game and throughout the first half. So do you think they would have dropped off and stepped off?
Yeah. Inevitably, because like you said, the conditions, the intensity, there was some tired legs out there. I mean, I messaged you and I told you like Reece James was done. Like he was done a good 10 minutes before he went down. So no. But having said that, if you do that for 70, 75 minutes, and then you have the threat of like a Rashford, if you like, on the break, it's a different setup. So you might be defending deep, but then you can hit balls long. What I think as well needed to change in that game was Harry Kane. He's great at dropping in and doing that quarterback role, but we needed him up top to occupy defenders, to give them something to think about. Their centre backs have had free reign to step into England's half of the pitch and obviously help dictate play. So, and obviously peg England all the way back. If you have Harry Kane up there, they've got to leave two players back now. Now we're forcing the issue. We know what Harry Kane's like. His hold-up play is excellent. He's great at winning free kicks. If you got a Rashford on the wing running off of him, yeah, I mean, you could maybe do something. But
Mm.
again, like you said, the mentality was straight away was like, let's hold this. And against Argentina, you're giving guys like Messi the pool, space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a recipe for disaster. Absolute recipe for disaster.
It was interesting though, bro. I mean, I just don't know, like, instructionally, were they told, okay, once we get a goal, we tuck in? Because for me, they would no way be told that. So it's
No.
like their mentality just switched to defend, hold what you have, hold what you have. But that's okay to a certain degree if you do have a threat going forward and if your intention is to still attack when you have the chance. I don't really remember one break, one good attack, like after they scored. I'm like, what's
Yeah. But you
it?
know why that was? Because like you said, TZ wouldn't have been telling them like, yeah, sit back, sit back, sit back. But he co-signed the sitting back, the low block when he made the substitutions.
It
Now, if
happened before that though, bro. That's the
no,
thing.
no, that's what I'm saying to you is it happened before the substitutions. I know, but what I'm saying is, if you didn't want your team to sit back the way they were sitting back, with a
Mm.
substitution, a positive substitution
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
terms of up front, then the manager's showing you something different to what you're doing, yeah, regardless of what you're thinking. But with the
Yeah,
substitutions he made, he co-signed that
yeah.
sitting in the low block. Do you see what I'm saying?
And they
Bringing off.
doubled down and became even worse.
Say that again.
They doubled down and became even worse then
Right
with
there,
the
you
sub.
go.
And
There you go.
no outball. There was one moment when Bellingham actually got the ball on the left and he carried it forward.
Mm.
He was the furthest player forward. And I was like, I said to the missus, I said, all he wants is a foul or a throw. All he wants, and he lost the ball.
Mm.
And they transitioned and he was done. He couldn't get back in. And I'm like, so where was Kane? Where was someone at least trying to give him something of an option, someone to pass to? I was like, rah, is this the overwhelming force of what Argentina had put them through in terms of the pressure, yeah, and the fact that they were just pushing them back, or was it the mentality and they just couldn't switch? They couldn't change, you know? It was actually a bit mad to think that there was no sort of plan B. Okay, we've got a goal. If they equalize, what are we gonna do?
Mm.
Yeah, they've got a goal. If it goes late, what are we gonna do? It just they just drained. They just drained themselves of everything they gave. Like when they scored that goal, they thought that was it.
Mm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is Argentina, who score late every game.
I mean, we don't know how fit Declan Rice was in terms of apparently had an illness or something like that, whatever.
Mm,
So we don't know
mm,
how fit he was but that substitution taking Declan Rice off, we know the kind of shield that Declan Rice. Enzo Fernando doesn't take that shot if Declan Rice is on the pitch. He's not. He's closing that
yeah,
down. Do you
it
see
was
what I mean?
Bellingham. Bellingham was the closest to him, but
Well,
he couldn't get
but
there.
Bellingham was on the 18-yard line. He was just a bit behind the 18-yard line and had to rush out to try and
Yeah,
close him down. It was too late by then. This
yeah,
is what I'm saying. Like we said many a times before. Well, we've said it many a times before. It's so hard to change from a defensive mindset into an attacking
yeah,
mindset. And they
yeah,
were already in that defensive mindset. So it was already curtains. It was already curtains when they went into that mindset. And like I said, when Tuchel co-signed it with the substitutions, it was a wrap. And I think it's quite sad that I think there was almost a case for England going out all guns blazing. I mean, you're in a semi-final. If you lose it 2-1 or 3-1 or 4-1, what's the difference? Do you see what I
mm,
mean? It's not, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Goal difference don't make no difference. So when it went to 1-1, was there not an argument for them to just say, well, sod it, let's just flood forward?
And there was what minute did they score? Because I'm sure there was like 12, 13 minutes to play when it was
What
1-1. So I'm like,
the Argentina
the
first goal?
equalizer. Yeah, the
Yeah,
equalizer.
there was time. I mean, they scored in the 85th minute. So there
So
wasn't
there was
much time.
15 minutes. There was, well, in terms of when the extra time was
Yeah.
added, it was 9. So they had 15, 16 minutes to play with.
Mm.
Uh, it, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a sad way, in my opinion, for England to go out. after the performances, the euphoria of some of those performances, to go out. And I don't want to say in a bit of a whimper, but it feels like a bit of a whimper because they just sat back and just let Argentina do whatever the hell they wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
in that sense, it's a bit disappointing. But
Do you think
I
there's
can't really.
a thought process, bro, that kind of makes them realize that they're not as good as Argentina? They're not as good as Spain. They're not as good as
Oh,
France, so to
a
speak.
hundred
So,
percent,
so it's
a
like, all right,
hundred.
if we get a goal, we're not gonna go blow for blow. We're gonna just try and hold on. And that subconsciously is because we know we're not as good as them.
100%. But facts are facts, and I don't
Yeah.
think player for player, England are better than Argentina, or even anywhere as good as Spain, or even where anywhere as good as France, player for player. But what they have is that English Premier League grit, that mentality, that digging and excuse me, let me rephrase that. What they're supposed to have is that grit, digging, that grit, that mentality, that defensive
Mm.
stability. Do you know what I mean? But I just don't feel like I didn't feel anywhere in the tournament that that back line was ever as together as what it needed to be in order to
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
teams like Argentina out.
Yeah, it was never stable, and to be fair, it was always chopped and changed with.
Mm.
Um, it's interesting though because I think the very first game we mentioned the fact that England don't have their technicians or the creative players there. They've got intensity and athleticism, and that
Hmm.
can only get you so far when teams are technically better than you
Yeah.
and can pass you off the pitch or create
Mm.
chances at will and just move the ball and stop you from even getting a tackle in. And in hindsight, obviously they wanted to get to the World Cup final, but Spain would have demolished them.
Yeah.
They would have demolished them, especially if they scored first,
Yeah.
because it would have been horrible to watch for England
Mm.
fans. So
Yeah. The,
it might
the
be
possession
it's gonna
stats would
hurt
have
right
been
now,
crazy.
but it might be a blessing in disguise. And realistically, even the most ardent, like patriotic England fan can be honest and say that Argentina deserved to win because they were the better team tonight.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
think that's a question. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's
You
just
have to
as you
call
said,
it.
it's a shame to go out like that.
Yeah, you have to call a spade, and Argentina did deserve it. But in the same breath, I think the England players can hold their heads high because they left everything on that pitch today, even though the tactics for the last 20 minutes or so might not have been correct. They did give everything. Hence why, we had players going down, being spent, tired. You know what I mean? Reece James was just
Yeah.
tired. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, he said overall, it's just a shame to go out that way. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's football, man. That's football, and that just like that, the dream's over. So we get the kind of final. I don't say the final that we want, but I think the footballing final that we want, Argentina, Spain, well, Spain, Argentina, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be
Mm.
absolutely crazy. Do you know what I mean? Because Spain are going to pop that ball around. Argentina just, I'm trying to think of how to describe Argentina as a football team. Like Spain's a possession based team. Argentina, are they really possession based? What is their thing?
No, I wouldn't say they're possession based. They're grinders.
Yeah,
They grind it. They grind the opposition down. Yeah, and then they start to play. So
mm,
in the first half, all of that stuff was designed, and England would have expected it as well. It was designed to put a lot of pressure on them, but not actually play any football. And when the football was there to be played, you saw that they can play football. They
yeah,
can
they can
move the
pop
ball.
it.
They can
Yeah,
cross the ball. They can slide balls down the side. Do you know, they can play 1-2s when they decide to. But the first thing is they win the physical battle by
mm,
grinding you down. And they haven't got loads of physically dominant players like that and big strong players. Look at their central defenders, like 5'9", 6 foot at tops. They're not big, massive physical units like how England are, but they know how to do it. And their mentality and experience came through to the fore with that. And it's like, you kind of have to admire it because nobody else plays football like them. No one.
mm. That's why.
No one.
That's why I kind of struggled to put a label on what kind of football they play because don't
Mm.
nobody play like them. But you hit the nail on the head there, my brother. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Well, like I said, Spain Argentina final. Who have you got for the win?
Um, I I should stick with what we said on day one of the World Cup and say Spain. But after seeing Argentina, over and over again, I just feel like they might do it, you know. I feel like
Mm,
Argentina might take it.
I'm sticking Spain. I'm sticking with Spain. I just think they can pop that ball around any team and get players in behind. I'm sure Pedri comes back in as well, and their
Nah, I don't think
defense.
he does. I don't think he does.
We're gonna find out, but their defense as well. The Spanish defense is solid. What have they
It's true.
conceded?
Good point.
Exactly.
One.
Exact all competition. That's crazy. That's a
Yeah.
crazy stat. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm staying with Spain. I'm staying with Spain. But people, we're gonna find out because obviously we're gonna be back for the final. We ain't gonna be back for that third place thing, man. I don't know what that is, man. That's a waste of time. If I'm an England player right now, I just want to go home in it. I don't even want to play that
Listen,
game.
if you're Kobe Manu and them guys, you actually want to get onto the pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
at
course.
least get some game time.
Maybe he changes it all up, man. But yeah, I'm not. Life has to life in it, so I doubt we'll be here for
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
we'll cover that after the finals on Sunday, man. But like my man Sam, pause fire for that. Like my brother here said, yeah, you know the thing, man. Road to 500, man. Come on, man. Keep pushing people, man. Come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, you're watching the content. You know what I'm saying, like, share, subscribe, follow the socials, all that good stuff, man. Like, I don't think you understand how much we appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying, but get us there. But for now, shit, Anfield South boys, man. We out, man.